Am I done with ultra? Yeah, I think I am. I think I've come to a point where I want and need to focus on something different on my bike and in my life. I came into cycling at a very difficult point in my life. In 2016, went through separation and eventually divorce, and my two girls were quite young, and I found cycling and running as a way initially to try and help keep myself busy and to keep fit and give some purpose to my life. And I found very quickly that I could use those as a tool to beat myself up and punish myself because of all of the feelings I felt as a result of leaving, the guilt, the deep unhappiness, and I just hated myself. I didn't want to feel the way I was feeling, and the ultra and the pushing myself to my very limit became a way of punishing myself for all of that, all of those feelings of guilt and anger, and they became a tool, and it was a useful tool for a very, very long time, and I needed it and I wanted it, and it served a purpose, and I just don't think now I'm in that same place in my life that I need that. Cycling for me has certainly changed over the last 10 years, and why I do it and what I love about it. And I realised this weekend at the Omniloop that I don't need to beat myself up, and I don't want to either. I'm 2 years sober. I've got my two girls, and I've got the two boys now as well in my life. And with my partner, I feel very happy and I feel content, and I don't have the same reason to beat myself up that I did before. So while I've been defined by Race Across America and the Ultra for so long, I think it's time to put that part of my cycling life to bed. I genuinely don't think I'm physically or mentally there to do the longer distances, the harder, fatigued, tired riding that the ultras and certainly Race Across America demands. And who knows what the future holds, but right now I feel content in my decision. I feel like it's the right thing. I've got a lot of TTs planned for this year, and that's exciting me. I'm still passionate about becoming a stronger, better, faster cyclist. Even more so in my mid-40s now. I think I've got a lot more in me. So that's the update really. That's where I'm sort of going to focus my time and energy. I'm not. I don't want to put myself through the ringer with this again of not enjoying riding. It's not why we do it, right? I spent sort of 4, 5, 6 hours at the weekend trying to be very present in the moment and enjoy my bike, myself, being out in the sunshine, which has been just, I'm sure you'll agree, very much needed. And I loved it for a long period of that. I loved it. I just relished being outside on my bike. But then when I got a puncture and another puncture, and then my chain started slipping, and then my back started hurting and my knees started hurting, and the balls of my toes were hurting, and I just thought, actually, I don't need this. It's not why I'm doing it, and I'm not. I don't. It doesn't serve me anymore. It served me to hurt previously. It doesn't now, and I'm okay with that. And I think for me, the shorter TT efforts are slightly different in that it's a bit like 5k, isn't it? In a way of running a 5k, in that you know it's going to hurt, but you know it's going to be over really quickly. And I quite like that idea now of just, yeah, maybe, you know, the 10s, the 25s, the 50 milers, and just putting it all out, but then kind of going home back to my family, and that's okay. We're all different and we all have different ambitions, and life changes and we grow and we change, and life's an evolution, and I think sometimes we just have to have these moments where we sit back and allow ourselves the grace to grow and not be held to this idea of what we should be, and that's whether that's in cycling or in life. And by doing stuff, we find out what we like and what we don't like, and that's life. And I'm okay with it. I'm content with it. I'm comfortable to sit here and say, ultra is done, and I feel no guilt or shame for that either. Which is a great place to be, I think. So that's that. That's the update. I'm grateful for everyone who's followed this journey from picking up a bike for the first time in 2016 to doing all the things I've done. You know, I've raised over £10,000 for charity in those 10 years. I've supported Make-A-Wish. I've supported Pace. I've supported Rise, who are in turn supporting my family, and I'm grateful for the opportunities that the bike has given me, and the people I've met along the way, who have been many more amazing people than me. And yeah, you guys continue to inspire me, and I'll keep riding my bike and I'll keep sharing my story as honestly as I can, and this is just another part of that. So thank you, and thank you for being part of this, and let's see what the next year and 10 years holds, and enjoy it, embrace it, love it, and remember why you ride your bike. That's certainly why I'm doing this video, because I think I've got to that point of, I love my bike. It is power, it is freedom, it is love, and I need to love it back, not hate it. So yeah, thanks guys, appreciate you watching this, and I'll see you on the road.